and welcome to another exciting episode of the Anime Roundup. My name is Trey.
I'm Chase.
And I'm Pattrick.
And I'm sick. But we're gonna talk about anime anyway, because we love anime, and what better to do when you're sick but watch anime, right?
Exactly.
Makes you feel better.
So, who wants to go first here?
I think I went first last time, didn't I? Or was it Chase that went first?
I think you did go first last time.
So, Trey, you go first.
Okay. Before we get started, though, I did want to mention, please let us know in the comments below how you felt about the editing on the last episode. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I used the show's logo.
Okay.
Was on screen while we were talking about that show, just in case people didn't know which show we were talking about, or if they stopped paying attention for a second and maybe missed it. My original plan was going to be to use the PV, but I realized that having the PV loop forever would look terrible. Mm-hmm. So I just put the image up there. And let me know in the comment section below if you guys would prefer to see the PVs, because I can do that. I think that the logos look pretty cool, and I tried to get the best looking version of the logos. So just let me know in the comments below how you feel about that.
Yeah, I hadn't quite got a chance to watch it yet, but I planned on watching it just because.
Yeah, no worries. So I watched 2 more episodes of Infinity Force because somehow it has 5 episodes out when everything else only has 4.
Still liking it?
I think Viz Media put out an episode early because I've been watching it officially on the Viz website. But it's still great. There's really good callbacks to things that happened in the actual series that they have. Like at one point, and again, I'm going to avoid spoilers from this point on as much as possible, but at one point, Ken is getting upset at the main character, Emmy, because she's not taking care of her friends very well. Like, she's not treating them well. And she has a comment that's something like, it's not like they're dead or anything, and you just see the look on Ken's face, and then my brain went, oh yeah, all his friends are dead. So, there's some really nice touches there.
Hit home on him.
Yeah. There's a really good one, too, where Ken is going like, I hate being at parties like this. There's so much more that we could be doing. And Joji's like, I don't know. I enjoy being at a party every once in a while. And Ken goes, how can you be so laid back? And Joji says, well, if you'll remember, all of my friends and family are currently in a coma back on my ship. So I try to enjoy the small joys that I get in life.
Dang.
And I was like, ooh!
Wow. That kind of hits, it's hard.
Oh, yeah. It's a really good show. And there was a really good moment where one of the villains, like one of the episodes cliffhanged with a villain just standing outside Emmy's door, pushing the doorbell.
Oh, really?
So it's really good so far.
How are the villains in it?
So the villains are mostly original. Like Damian Gray is clearly based off the villain from Polymar, but for the most part, these villains are completely original, created for the show, and they have storylines that are similar in ways to the characters, the main characters from the other shows, but also different and divergent. And they always get a cool, like, pastel-style art, like, design for their backstories when they get told.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually think the villain from the most recent episode is probably my favorite one of them all. His name's Raja Khan. And he's got a really good premise that is where he willingly became a monster to be able to protect his people. And everything that spirals away from there is really cool. I'm very excited for the next episode because it looks like we're going to get Damian Gray versus Ken. And that's a fight that... Because again, these characters and villains are introduced and you can clearly see, well, the main bad guy is Ken's enemy and Damian Gray is Polymar's enemy. And like you just go down the line. But now that they're mixing it up... Because I was afraid it was going to be oh yeah, they beat the bad guy and then that bad guy's gone. And the show's over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now that the bad guys are coming back in and have dynamic stuff going on with them as well, where they have weird relationships with a couple of the heroes, then it's going to make it more interesting, in my opinion. So,
okay. This sounds great. I'm so happy that it ended up being a lot better than you thought.
Oh, yeah, man. It's so good. And it's really clever with a lot of the writing, too, so I'm definitely glad to keep watching it.
Is the animation still good?
Oh, yeah. Every once in a while you get a shot where it's just like, oh, yeah, this is CG. But for the most part, you forget it's CG, because it looks really good.
They need to get some people over there to work on Berserk.
Yeah, absolutely they do. Past that, I've still been watching Mahotsukai no Yome. I'm caught up on it now. That show is still great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried when I came through, and I was like, "You still liking it?" And you were just like, "We'll talk about it." And I was like, "Oh, well, hopefully." So.
I was afraid if I said anything more, I would get too into it with what I wanted to talk about tonight with it. It is very much an episode of the week style show, kind of like a Cowboy Bebop or a Mushishi. There is an overarching plot, but every episode is kind of contained in and of itself. Having said that, it's clear that this next episode is going to be tied into this episode, but it is very clear that you're seeing a slow journey that these two characters are taking as they interact with the rest of the people in this world. And that is one of my favorite story setups. Again, Cowboy Bebop is one of the best anime ever made, and it has that trend where you're learning the story of Spike as you go, and of Jet, and of Faye, and everybody else, but it's these four characters moving through that overarching plot while solving little cases, and that's what's happening in Mahotsukai no Yume, and I love it.
That style is awesome.
It really is. There was a moment in episode 3 where I actually cried.
Wow.
You bet you cry about everything, Trey.
I do, and I'm sick, so I feel like I was even more prone to cry. But there's a scene, I don't want to spoil too much. There's a scene where a very old creature is reaching its end, and it relives its memories of its life. And it got me. It got me real good.
That's crazy, man.
So, past that, I had two, I guess you could say new series. One of them I've seen a little bit of before. I picked up Net-Juu no Susume, which is, it's about a girl who gets fired from her job. She's in her early 30s. She gets fired from her job. And she has enough money to live off of for a little while. So she basically decides to become an elite NEET, which means she's going to stay at home and she's going to play video games all day. And because she's so sick of the whole work world, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so she starts playing this MMO where she makes a male character and calls him Hayashi, and she's just excited to be able to, play around on her own. And she meets this girl named Lily, and, Lily is really nice to her, and they team up. And it seems like there might be something going on there. And then, of course, we know as the viewer that Lily is actually being played by a guy who happens to live in the main character's neighborhood.
Okay.
And so it's very clearly going to be a romance, but there's some really... Yeah, I am. It's great. I'm super sold on it. The fact that they're both playing the reverse gender character and somehow still found each other,
Yeah.
The fact that they keep interacting with each other in real life, even though neither knows that the other is the one that they play with online.
I'm pumped. I would be pumped to see where that goes, what happens when they finally do see each other.
And it's a pretty good game, too, from the looks of things. Most of the time, the big example, obviously, Sword Art Online, but even with Dot Hack and Log Horizon, all those games have some really annoying mechanics to them that I'm not a huge fan of. Whereas this one is just, hey, use your shield skills to block right before you get hit. Hey, attack. You're good.
A lot more simplified.
Yeah, streamlined, I would say. Streamlined. It's not as overly... I love Log Horizon, don't get me wrong, but it's not as overly complicated as that. And what I love is that this girl is bad at talking to people, which is most likely why she got fired from her job. But there's a moment where she has to go to the convenience store, and she and the guy, because again, it's anime, they're going to meet all the time without realizing it. She and the guy both ask for the same piece of food that's in the convenience store's little oven container. And then she tells herself, I can't go back there for a while. Because it was super embarrassing.
Did they never talk about their experiences in real life with each other, in the game?
So they mentioned things, but because they don't like that they're lying to each other, so they both use... She's the one who does most of the talking about that kind of thing. He's real reserved online, but she basically will talk about how she met this girl because she's playing a guy and is pretending to be a guy. And so it makes it even harder for them to get everything together.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where it goes. Currently, she has lied about her age. And the response that she got was, "Oh, I thought for sure you'd be older than me." But no, it's real good so far. I'm loving it. I'm 2 episodes in, and there's 4 right now, so I gotta get caught up to that. But I spent the rest of my time watching Gundam Battle Log Episode 3.
So I know for a fact Episode 1 was fantastic. I remember watching
Yes.
that. Episode 1 was really good.
Episode 2 was okay. Episode 2 was based around Build Fighters Try, which was a weaker season to Build Fighters. Episode 3 is also based off Build Fighters Try, but is specifically based off of a offshoot line of Gundam kits, Gunpla, that are the female characters from Build Fighters Try as Gunpla.
Okay.
So, like, you have Fumina, and it's the Super Fumina, and she's in the GM Cardigan armor. And then you have Gyanko, and she's dressed up like a Gyan. And it's a commercial, which, like, that's what all the battle logs are. They're just really nice-looking commercials that happen to have character development and stuff in them, which is the way I wish all commercials were. But it has some really, really good jokes and references. There's actually a twist in it. It's really enjoyable, but it's super full of spoilers. It has spoilers for Try. It has spoilers for Original Gundam.
You're just saying that so I don't watch.
No, it absolutely does. They talk about a character who dies in Original Gundam and how they survived in the movie version.
Oh, okay.
They talk about different things that happen in Try, and they talk about individual kits themselves. And then, of course, you have the fact that, and it's the thing that's always bothering me about Fumina, she is 16 in the canon, which is old enough in Japan, not old enough in our country, and she is very, what's the right word? Scantily dressed?
Trey.
In the entirety of this battle log?
They can do that.
They can. I'm not saying that it is a thing you shouldn't watch it for. I'm just saying it's something to be aware of. Past that, it was a lot of fun. It was very cliche. You knew exactly where it was going from the get-go. There's even a moment where they get their power-up because somebody pulls out LEDs. Like the LEDs you would put in kits. And with the battery and everything. And then the narrator tells you, "You, watching this, hold up your LED to give the girl strength."
Oh my god.
That sounds awful.
It's a parody of old anime for kids, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Planet.
As weird as it was fun. But absolutely don't watch it if you don't want spoilers.
I don't want spoilers for original. I don't care about Try.
Yeah. Try is something that I think everybody should watch, but they should watch Build Fighters first so that they understand what was better about Build Fighters and what was worse about Try. And there's still some good stuff. Like, Try has Crossbone X1 animated full cloth, doing some work.
And okay, too.
It looks beautiful. But that's all I've been watching this week. Very much enjoyed Net-Juu and Battle Log, and I will check out more of them. And of course, Finna T-Force, I'm a Hots guy. Who's next?
I'll go since I got short.
Haven't watched too much more Gundam. Just been too busy. I think I watched maybe 2 or 3 more episodes of it. Amuro's being a baby.
Yeah.
He's locked up.
This is the fun arc.
Yeah, and which I was used to it because Camille was also kind of a little baby. But then again, I say that some bad stuff happens right at the start. I think Camille... I could give him the pass on that.
Of all the protagonists, I think Camille's the one that deserves it the most.
Yeah, definitely. I would give that pass to Mika, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need it.
Yep.
Camille absolutely does, though.
Yep, Camille's acts like a baby. And then Cowboy Bebop, I started watching that because and you were talking about Mahotsukai no Yome, about how it progresses, and I was like, and then you mentioned Cowboy Bebop, and I was like, did Trey read my? That's why I said it.
No, I actually didn't, but sure, that's a good coincidence.
But I'm 4 episodes into that. I got
Bebop's
introduced.
real good.
Yeah, I got introduced to Faye. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yes.
Faye Valentine.
Yep. She stole Spike's money.
Yep.
What is your first opinion of Faye?
She seems like a cool character. She seems like she's sly, and has some. She seems very confident. I like her.
I really like Faye.
I don't know if I like
There's not
her.
really a main character.
I don't know if I
like.
think her and Spike go together really well as far as like how their characters are. They
Yeah.
both kind of had the same personality. I think I like Spike more though. Still, Spike's really cool.
Oh yeah, Spike's amazing.
Spike is probably the.
And
He's
there's
my,
so many.
he's my
there's-
second favorite.
I say there's so many hints to stuff too. Like the last episode I was watching, Spike, his partner. What's his partner's name? The
Jet.
Jet. Yeah, Jet was like, "Hey,
Jet's great.
there's no smoke in here," and Spike just ate a cigarette and then spit it back out later. And you're kind of just like, "Wait, was he just holding that in his mouth the whole time?" And then he does it later with the poker chip.
Yep. Cowboy Bebop is masterfully written, man.
And I
Like,
love the animation in it too. The animation's really
Oh
good.
yeah.
I like how the
It's-
characters are drawn.
So often people go, "Oh, Cowboy Bebop, it's one of the greats." It's like, no, it's not one of the greats. It's literally one of the best anime ever made.
Yeah.
It's wonderfully written. It's masterfully animated. Every scene, so much thought was put into. Like, Gino Ibuchi has never made something as good as Cowboy Bebop again. He hasn't. Like, it's not that he hasn't tried. It's just that Cowboy Bebop hits everything perfectly.
It's a lot to live up to.
It is. It absolutely is.
I remember seeing it on Adult Swim all the time when I was a kid, and I would always be like, eh.
Yeah,
I'd
it's,
have
it's
only
so
known.
great, man.
If I only known Cowboy Bebop and Inuyasha would be considered some of the best animes ever.
You leave that Inuyasha out the snow where it belongs to freeze to death, sir.
I've thought about watching
Get Kagome to tell him to sit.
I thought about watching it, but it gives me like this weird feeling, like because I remember as a kid, I guess something happened, and I associated it with that one dude sucking in the bug spirits.
Oh yeah, Moroku.
Yeah, and for some reason, every time I see that, it like makes me feel weird. It's weird. It makes just associate, just like I have Mortal Kombat Armageddon associated with my brother vomiting.
Okay.
And every time I play it now, I just get hit in the nose with it, and just like
Crazy how the brain works like that.
yeah. But enough. We got off topic. What's up, Pat? What do you got?
Oh. Well, I want to say something real quick before we switch to me about Cowboy
Yeah.
Bebop.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it would probably be a bad idea for them to actually make a live action film,
Oh yeah.
but I still wish we could get one that was really good.
Keanu won't do it.
Keanu would make a good Spike, huh?
He will, but he won't do it. He's already said that he doesn't think it would be faithful to the original series.
And I see where he's coming from, but I don't care. I just want to see a live action movie. I think it would be so cool.
If Keanu would, well, Keanu's never gonna get old.
No, he's immortal, like
Yeah.
Hirohiko Araki.
He actually is. He's 52, huh? And he looks like he's.
He
20.
looks exactly like he does when he was 22.
Yeah.
30 years have passed and nothing's happened to that
He's got
man.
facial hair to cover up his perfect skin.
Could you imagine, man? Oh,
Dude, I would love it too. I think that'd be super sick. Who would play Jet though?
See, that's the problem, is you get into that and you go, Keanu is the perfect Spike, but who could fill the other roles?
The most
I
important.
can't even
role
imagine who could play Faye.
is Ein.
I
Who
can't
would
imagine who
play
could play Ed.
And you haven't met the villain yet, Chase, but whoever could play him, oof.
Yeah, I haven't got to meet him yet.
You haven't met him yet. You haven't had a chance.
So, does So Long Space Cowboy mean anything to you guys?
Yes.
It means a lot.
Okay.
There's another phrase, too, that also means just as much.
I saw a man come into work, and he had a tattoo, and it just said Bebop, and below it said "So Long Cowboy," and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to be your friend, sir.
Hey, Pattrick.
Hmm.
You're going to carry that weight.
Shut up. Oh my god.
If you say that, I just might forgive you.
Oh shit.
Chase that. So Patrick, what have you been watching?
Oh man, I've been watching Iron Blooded Orphans still.
Speaking of Iron Blooded Orphans,
Yeah.
keep going. No, you're good.
Oh,
It was a play on something I said earlier.
I got into season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I will say. So I thought the second OP in season 1 was really bad, and that the second ED was really bad until the last episode. Because it fit the last episode perfectly.
Yes, it does. It's weird how different of a change of pace that is from Raise Your Flag and Orphans no Namida.
Yeah, but the way that they use the OP and ED in the episode on the last episode is literally perfect. Man, season 2 has
I'm
been
really
crazy
good about that. About the ED stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm 3 episodes into season 2, and it's
Just wait
already
till you get
really
that final
interesting.
ED. Just wait till you get that final ED. I hear it in my head all the time, and it makes me want to tear up every time.
I'm not a big fan of the OP of this third OP.
What is the third OP?
Is it Survivor? No.
No, the final OP is Survivor's Fighter.
Okay. Fighter.
I'm not a big fan.
Fighter!
Maybe I need to hear it a few more times.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that third OP is.
I mean, you must not like it that much because you remember everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna wind up having to re-listen to them now.
But it's still IBO, man. I literally I sit down and I'm like, I can't wait to watch another episode, and then I end up running out of time or I'm late to something.
Hey, that's fine. Why don't you finish it?
Yeah, for real. I will have it done by the 10th. That's not hard at all. So I started watching this show called Kino's Journey.
Yep.
Or Kino no Tabi.
Man, the original Kino's Journey was so good. I've been meaning to watch the sequel. Or it's not even a sequel, it's just further down the story.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know there was something before it.
Yeah, you don't have to watch the original, from what I've been told. This is just a continuation of the story, and Kino's Journey is also episodic, like Cowboy Bebop, like Mahoutsukai no Yume, so you don't have to have what came before to be able to watch it.
So have you heard of this, Chase?
I've not.
Okay. I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the first episode for you.
That's fun.
Because the moment I tell you about this episode, I feel like you'll immediately want to watch it. I will say that my girlfriend's opinion of it was she wasn't sure about how the show was going to go.
Yeah.
And basically what she said was she wanted to see more to see how it would go. But I was immediately like, I gotta watch another episode. This is going to be extremely awesome. This is going to be really interesting. So the story is about Kino and his motorcycle, Edelman. And
The motorcycle's alive?
It talks, yeah.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
Kino is traveling the world and going to many places, but Kino only stays in these places for 3 days. And after the 3 days, he leaves and goes somewhere else.
It's a hard rule, by the way.
Yeah.
Like he won't, no matter what, stay longer than 3 days.
Nope, 3 days only.
Yep, he leaves. So first of all, I saw talking motorcycle and I was like, well, I gotta see what this is about because a talking motorcycle already sounds cool. The first country he goes to, he's pulling up and there's this guy and he's standing outside, or like not outside of the country, but like.
Is it like you mean country?
That's what they're called. It's probably more of a city. But they're calling them countries, and they have their own rules.
Yeah, it's kind of like Grecian city-states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where they're all very small and really close, and everyone has their own right to rule.
Okay.
And so he pulls up along the path, and there's this guy in his horse, and he walks up to the guy. He gets off his bike and walks up to the guy, and And the guy's like, oh, hey, man, you should take some of my stuff with you because I'm traveling into that country you're going to. And he's like, no. Which I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy, but that made me laugh. It was pretty funny because he was like, come on, man, like, I can't take all that stuff. He goes, no. And then he was like telling him, like, well, that place up there, you can, in that country, you're allowed to kill people, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, like, that's fine. I'm going to go check it out for myself. And he's like, so are you going to take my stuff? He's like, no, sir. You need to take care of your own traveling situation. And he gets on his bike and just leaves. And then he gets into the town, and in this town, you can kill people. Like, killing is not prohibited. I think that's how they put it. It was like it's permitted, but it's not, or it's not prohibited, but it's not permitted either. Anyways, I'm gonna spoil the episode, so it'll make sense after I tell you. So he's obviously, you're expecting to see either like a bunch of murdering or like blood everywhere, like gangs of people around, and it was a stupid peaceful place. Like everyone is smiling, everyone is talking, they're giving away free stuff to people that are traveling. Like it's nothing you would expect hearing that before you go into this place. And the first night he's sitting there talking to Edmund, and he's just like, this wasn't what I expected. And Edmund was like, so you're expecting everyone to be killing each other? And Kino was like, no, like, I don't know. And then the next day, he's eating food with these people in the town, and they're giving him like these stack of pancakes that are really big, which I feel like is like it has to be like a special thing about this country where they give people a bunch of pancakes, because like everyone was telling him to eat them. And as he's leaving that little restaurant area, that same guy from before comes up, and he's like, hey, give me all your stuff or I'm going to kill you. And he's sitting there, he's like, no. So, of course, everyone's standing outside watching this happen, and like they're all staring down like at this situation because someone might die here. And he's like, come on, give me your stuff or I'm going to kill you. And immediately, everyone in the town besides Kino and his bike Edmund and this guy slowly walk away. And so the guy doesn't really pay any mind to it, but Kino, of course, is like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody leaving? And the guy has a gun pointed at Kino, and Kino decides to just hop over Edmund and hide behind the bike. And he's like, I'm sorry, Edmund, but you're going to have to take a couple shots. He's like, as long as you patch him, it's cool, which I thought was a cool little...
yeah, they've been through a lot together.
Yeah, you can definitely tell by their conversations that they have been through plenty. So he's getting ready to pull the trigger, and all of a sudden an arrow comes in out of nowhere and goes right through his forearm. And he just starts screaming, and like what you're supposed to do is push the arrow through so it doesn't hurt you anymore. And he pulls on it, and it hurts him even more.
Of course.
He's sitting there almost crying, and he's like, who did this? And it's this old lady, and she's just got like a
bow and arrow?
No, it's not a bow and arrow. I'm just an idiot. Yeah, it's a crossbow. I don't know why that word escaped my head for this moment. But she's holding this little bitty crossbow from a window from like 2 houses down, and she hits him right in the arm. And all of a sudden, you see everyone in the town slowly circling around them with weapons. And then, like, he starts going to get the gun, because the gun obviously fell out of his hand, and another guy shoots him in the foot with an arrow. And then they all slowly close in on this guy. And one of the guys that Kino was eating with, he walks up to him and he goes, hey, why he's like, hey, why are you trying, like, what are y'all doing? I'm just trying to kill him. And the guy's like, killing in this town is not permitted, but it's not prohibited. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, what you're doing is dangerous and wrong, so we're all going to kill you. And
so that's why it's so peaceful.
Yeah, because what they do is if somebody starts trying to kill someone or causes a problem, everyone kills them. And so all of these people are sitting around there chomping at the bit to just get a piece of this guy because they're about to kill him. And
Yeah.
the animation is not like, I don't know what the two terms are. All I know is CGI, but it's like half and half because
Okay.
a lot of the scenes they do CGI, and then some scenes they don't. And
So it's cell animation with CG layered on top.
Exactly. And I don't know how I feel about that, but because it's noticeable. It's very noticeable. But the story is so good that you don't really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But the guy sitting there on the ground basically realizing he's about to die, and he's just like, I don't understand. And then the guy pulls out a sword and he's like, I'm sorry, and then just stabs him in the heart. And then the scene kind of like slowly ends out, and Kino's getting ready to leave, and he's driving away down the path, and there's another guy with a horse, and he pulls up to him and he's like, hey, are you from that country over there? And he's like, no, I'm leaving. And he's like, is it safe there? Like, my whole life I've lived having to do nothing but kill people to stay alive. And he's like, I think you'll like it there. And it was like the most peaceful ending to that episode that was really dark. And
So, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the thing about Kino's journey is that Kino is always an accessory to everything that happens. He's at the heart of what happens because he's the main character, but he's also an accessory to everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
The world moves on whether Kino's there or not, and that's what the episodes of Kino are all about. Obviously, this first episode, you've talked about it, you've shared everything that's in it. The next episode could be completely different. And
that's so exciting to me.
My favorite thing about that, like you said, it's very exciting, is that even having one episode spoiled doesn't spoil the whole show. Because now I can sit down and I can watch the second episode, and it's completely separate.
But I still feel like if you sit down and watch the first episode, you're going to see either something I didn't say, or...
I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I still recommend you watch the first episode because it'll give you a feel for the show if you haven't seen it. Like for Chase, for example, I highly recommend you watch the first episode if you're interested. Anyways, because...
I would.
Yeah. And, man, like, I'm really excited. My girlfriend will watch another episode with me, and we'll see how her opinion is of it next week. But, man... I was ready. I sat there and I was like, this is going to be good. I'm really excited. So
one other thing, Kino's Journey has been out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do not Google anything.
Okay, I won't.
The manga's been out for a very, very long time.
Is
and
the
there are
manga
a lot of
over?
spoilers. No, I don't believe so. Let me double check. While we're talking, I'll double check. But it's been out for a long time, and there are things that, just from listening to you talk, you don't know about the story. And I don't want you to get spoiled on it by Googling.
When did the original come out?
I'm double checking all that information right now. I'm about to pull up the wiki page. Alright. So it is over. It was a light novel, not a manga. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And the light novel ended in the... No, the light novels are not over. The magazine they were in was over. I'm sorry. As of October 2014, 18 volumes have been published. So 18 volumes is quite a bit when it comes to light novels. The original anime was in 2003.
Okay.
It was 13 episodes. There was also a 30-minute OVA that came out in 2005. And then another 30-minute OVA that came out in 2007. And then the new, now current running series.
That makes me really want to go back and watch the first series and the OVAs.
They're really good.
Because just seeing that episode got me so interested in the show and the story behind Kino and Edmund that I'd be willing to go back and watch those episodes.
Yeah, and Edmund is a really interesting character too, being a motorcycle. Like, I love that so much.
Yeah, like that was what caught me, because I was like, I need to find something to watch because I'm not watching Dice Array anymore. And I saw that one and I was like, that looks kind of weird. like for just from the picture, and I was like, it looks kind of weird. I kind of want to see what it looks like. And man, I'm glad I read the description, and I'm really glad I watched the first episode.
Like I said, just don't Google anything.
No, I won't. I'm gonna keep watching.
Because I kept waiting for you to mention something that I thought in this new series would be the norm, but I don't know where this series is placed in the timeline, and apparently it's not since you didn't mention it. So,
okay.
I'll watch the first episode myself and see where it's at in the story, and have an update for that for next time. But
okay, cool. He was doing this one thing that kind of interested me, but I don't know if it's like a big deal or not.
Okay.
But every morning when he woke up, he would practice drawing his gun.
Yes.
Every morning.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. That I hope they get into in this new one, and you don't have to go back and watch the old one for, but you might have to.
Fair enough. But yeah, that was really interesting. I was like, there's obviously something that either happened to him or something that he's preparing for, and I was like, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. So that also kind of makes me not want to go watch it and just keep watching from where I am.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
go back and watch the original when you finish this.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, because then I'll already have a really good idea of what Kino and Edelman are doing, and if they talk about the stuff from the first series, then I'll already know it as I'm watching it, which will be really.
The original was only 12 episodes too, anyway. So.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I might want to, but we'll see. I'm gonna watch the second episode first before I do make a decision.
Because there's 4 out right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I need to catch up.
All right. Well, that has been a podcast. What are you guys gonna keep watching, and what are you gonna drop? And what might you pick up? What do you have your eyes on?
I'm gonna definitely keep up with Gundam, and I definitely want to finally finish Cowboy Bebop. Like, Cowboy Bebop needs to get checked off my list of like anime to watch.
Absolutely, it does. Can I make a recommendation for after you're done with Bebop?
What?
I recommend you watch either Trigun or Outlaw Star. Both of those are also made by the same producer.
Okay.
Not the same director, but the same producer. They have the same animation staff, and although they're written by 3 different authors, they all have the same feel.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check those out then.
And either one's a good jumping off point after Bebop. I think Outlaw Star is the better one out of the two, but I know a lot of people would also fight me and say Trigun's better.
Do I need a jumping off point from Bebop?
No, I just thought if you wanted to go with the same genre.
Do you think I will?
I don't know.
I want to check out that Kino's Journey, but if I watched it, I want to start with the original.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
So.
And you should. Kino's Journey is real good.
I'll have to check it out.
Patrick, how about you? You gonna keep watching what you got? You gonna drop anything? You gonna pick up anything?
I'm definitely gonna keep watching Kino's Journey. Like I said, I'm still not sure if I'm gonna go back and watch the first series first, or if I'm gonna get through all 4 episodes that are out right now.
Yeah.
And of course, I have to finish Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah.
There's another anime that I was looking at watching that I'm not sure if I'm going to or not.
Okay.
It's called Konohana Kitan, but I don't know.
Konohana Kitan. Let me look this up real quick.
You know what you should watch?
You
should watch Redline. It's a movie.
Redline?
You should watch Redline. It's about space racing.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Main character's name is Sweet JP.
Sure is. Okay, this looks cute.
It looks really different compared to the stuff that I normally watch. So I was like, maybe it'll be another way I can just step out of my comfort zone. But I also have a feeling I'm not going to like it, which is another reason why I want to watch it. Because I've learned now, after watching 1 episode of Kino's Journey, that just looking at the picture and reading the description means little to none. Because looking at the picture of Kino's Journey, I was not intrigued. But reading the description, I was. Dicey Ray, reading the description, I wasn't intrigued. But the picture of it got me intrigued. So
it's the quandary that hits every anime fan, which is that looks like it could be cool, that sounds like it could be cool. Let me watch 4 episodes and find out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, just because it'll be another step out of my comfort zone. But we'll see.
If you want to watch something really cute characters, you should check out Toradora.
Toradora.
It's a slice of life romance about a character who looks fierce because his dad's a yakuza, and he's actually a really nice guy. And then his love interest that is a very small girl that is extremely angry all the time. And how the two of them connect. It's a really good show. I watch it every Christmas. For me, I'm going to keep going.
Is it a Christmas anime?
Not really, but there's a Christmas episode, so
Okay.
I just watch it every
There's
Christmas.
one in Sword Art Online also.
I might start rewatching Sword Art Online Abridged every Christmas now.
There you go.
That's a good trend to get into.
Yeah, Pat, if you want to watch Sword Art Online, watch the abridged.
Oh,
That's
man.
the better one.
Skip the original, watch the Abridged. You'll be happy you did.
I think I might watch the abridged. I keep
It's
hearing
real
that. I'm
good.
like, I might as well watch
The
the abridged.
abridged is a good show.
Yeah, it's not even a good Abridged series. It's a good show in and of itself.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll link it to you in the Discord after we're done.
Yeah, I was about to start looking that up.
For me, I'm going to keep going with Infinity Force, obviously. Mahotsukai, obviously. Net-Juu, obviously. And then Battlelog, whenever more episodes come out, I'll watch those. But I also had my eye on a couple different series that I might pick up. There's a couple things that look pretty interesting. Again, I really want to watch the new Kino's Journey. I really want to watch the new Keikai Sensen.
Oh yeah.
But I know that once I get in, I'm in. And I kind of wanted it to be finished before I did, because I'll watch all of them probably in the same day when I do. I'm really terrible about my health like that. But I also had my eye on... Let me see if I can get the name of it again. I saw it earlier.
Cowboy Bebop.
I mean, Cowboy Bebop was real good.
Inuyasha? Was it when I mentioned Inuyasha?
No, it definitely wasn't Inuyasha. I'm trying to pull up my bookmark list, and I can't do that on the screen. It's Seiju Kiseki Bismarck.
Okay.
It's an older anime, an old Super Robot anime that I've never seen. And obviously that means that I care about it. And I want to know what's going on with it, because Bismarck looks really cool.
Unless
so.
it's bad.
Yeah, it could be really bad. We'll find out. But all right, any final thoughts before we go, guys?
Watch anime.
Absolutely. Next week's episode may have to be either late or recorded early, because we will be part of a 24-hour live stream event next weekend.
I keep forgetting about it, and then Trey has to say something.
I say next weekend, it's this weekend.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see that, I will be tweeting out and putting up a video with links and everything to it. So please don't miss that. We're going to have a lot of fun with it.
It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure.
All right, but we have been the Full Spectrum. I've been Trey.
I've been Trace.
I've been Pattrick.
And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that anime has to offer.